The American people have a right to know who else was involved, whether the system really was rigged in favor of the rich and powerful.
A House committee has subpoenaed Bill and Hillary Clinton, the Justice Department, as well as several other former government officials in relation to a new investigation into the Jeffrey Epstein case. The Republican-led Oversight Committee issued the subpoenas, demanding documents and sworn depositions from former FBI directors and attorney generals from both parties, including James Comey, Robert Mueller, Merrick Garland, William Barr, and others. The investigative committee's Republican chair, James Comey, published letters issued to each person and in one to former President Bill Clinton, where he wrote, "By your own admission, you flew on Jeffrey Epstein's private plane 4 separate times in 2002 and 2003. During one of those trips, you were even pictured receiving a massage from one of Mr. Epstein's victims." And within the letter addressed to former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, noted the apparent close relationship that the Clintons had with Epstein, and added, "Miss Maxwell's nephew worked for your 2008 presidential campaign and was hired by the State Department shortly after you became Secretary of State."
You know, the thing that worries me about the Epstein files, and I've read a lot about it, like most Americans have, is was our government involved in this? Were they potentially blackmailing some of the most influential people?
The panel is also calling for full disclosure of files tied to Epstein's prosecution and death, which many lawmakers claim remains shrouded in secrecy.
Look, the whole thing is a hoax. It's put out by the Democrats because we've had the most successful 6 months in the history of our country, and that's just a way of trying to divert attention.
US President Donald Trump, whose past ties to Epstein have drawn scrutiny, has urged his party to move on from the case, and the Justice Department has insisted there's no hidden client list. But pressure continues to mount, including from some Democrats who say the public deserves answers.
You know, it's hard to request information when the Department of Justice says there is no information, so.
The subpoenas order the Justice Department to hand over records, with depositions set between August and October 2025, ending with Bill and Hillary Clinton.
When powerful people exploit children, they must be held accountable for their actions. And if they try to mislead the public and hide evidence, we can't let them get away with it.